Generic greetings and welcome to Frostpunk. This is a game about surviving in Canada. You will have to... Oh, good grief, it's not. It's a city building survival game, essentially. You have a settlement with a big generator in the middle that provides heating and power, and you will expand out, you'll gather resources, research technology, and have to make some choices, and they're always hard choices, really. It's by 11-Bit Studios, who brought you, among other things, This War of Mine, so it's got that same sort of, I wouldn't say depressing tone, but sort of realistic tone where, you know, you're just going to have to make, maybe not what's really the right choice, but maybe the best choice in that situation. But anyway, it's a game I've played for about 2 hours now. I've never actually won the game. I've not done so well. So let's just see how this series goes. Let's just go to select scenario. I'm going to do the first scenario in New Home. There's a couple of others there, as you can see, and there's more coming. But either way, we'll go for the main story. So to preserve civilization from the chaos of its own downfall, we have fled to the end of the world. We will have to adapt to survive. Who will we become in the process? We will click start and crack straight on into it. So, as I said, it's about surviving, gathering resources, doing technology and research, and enacting laws. And as you can see, it is very, very, very cool. That is the big generator, which will go to the center of this crater type thing. I'm just going to press escape and skip that one there. So in New Home, we fled from London and crossed the sea to reach frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of the generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world has, as we know, has crumbled. So basically, it's a bit chilly and it's all gone a bit wrong. So we'll head to the center of this big crater where the generator is, and we'll have to fire it up and then start gathering resources. I'm going to pause it for a moment. So fight the cold. We need to get the generator working, provides heat and power to the buildings. Without it, we'll freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. So I'm just going to pause it for a moment. Quick rundown of the UI. Top is all of our resources, time control, as well as the temperature. If we press that temperature, it'll actually show you like the overall heat of the place. So obviously this is very, very cold, minus 20 degrees C. That's the ambient temperature there. Then we've got some little pockets of heat there, which are actually people. We've also got the changes in weather coming along by day. So we know at day 4 and a bit, the temperature will drop significantly 2 levels. So it'll go to probably minus 40. We've got some raw food and some food rations as well. On the bottom, we've got all the options for constructing and a book of laws and stuff, which we'll enact in a moment, as well as our discontent and hope. Discontent, you don't want to go too high. Hope, you don't want to go too low, and bad things can happen. We can also check to see who we've got employed, unemployed. We've got engineers, you've got work. Well, workers are your standard people. Engineers are a bit more specialised. Then you've got children as well, which are currently prohibited, but you can enact if you wish under the adoption here. We go for child labour. So you can say it's child labour, safe jobs, or child shelters. So if I say child labour, there's enough hands to do all the work. We allow children to be employed in safe workspaces like cook houses and hot houses, so they can do tasks that aren't classed as dangerous. Or you can say child shelters. So they'll stay in shelters during the day. They won't cause any mischief. So that has hope will rise, providing all children with a place. Child shelter gives a permanent hope bonus, and you have to build a child centre. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But that does then lead to medic apprentices, engineer apprentices, so you can train both of those, whereas the other one leads up the top, I believe. Anyway, so we'll probably not bother with that one there. Let's go for, well, there's all different things like fighting arena and soup and cemetery and stuff, but we'll have a look at that later on. What we need to do first is get some resources gathered and start this generator. So there's three different types of resources on this map. We've got coal, we've got some wood somewhere there, wood crates, and we've also got some steel wreckage as well. And what will happen is they will eventually get removed from the map because basically you'll use them all, and then you'll have to get them other resources from like frozen trees or from things like the iron ore deposit, and it's harder to mine, and that's a later us problem. Current us needs to go to construction and over to the resources, and we need to put a gathering post down. See, what you can do is you can assign someone to these if you want to. However, it's more efficient to assign a gathering post because it builds it a bit better. Now, what I want to do is sort of expand out here from the center because it's not adjacent to a street, I'm aware, but basically it's all built in this sort of circular grid, and I think there will be fine because it gathers all of those. And then we need to connect up with a road, which will go straight there. Actually, it's not called a road, it's called, is it street? Yeah, street. So there's that getting built. We could also do the same over here if we want to, and quite frankly, I would love to, but I'm out of resources, so let's not bother. What I will do, though, is get some people assigned over to this coal pile, so I'll max that out there, and we'll probably say max out to that as well. We currently have 80 people homeless, which is far from ideal, so we need to sort that out. So we'll have to gather food, we'll have to gather all sorts of stuff. Is that a tutorial summary? It is a tutorial summary. I thought I'd turned that off. Disable tutorials? Yes. Well, you know what? I might as well just keep them on. I mean, it's not going to harm us in any particular way. Yeah, it's... Tell us how to move around. Cool, we know how to do that. I might as well keep it on just in case it pops up and I've forgotten something. So as you can see, people are wandering out now. They're going to go through the snow to these areas here. So that's a bad thing. Whereas as you can see here, they're cutting through the snow, but eventually they'll be building this so they won't have to get cold. And when you get cold, then you start getting people who are ill, and then you can get seriously ill, and then you're going to have to do something about that. This is currently on, what's the efficiency breakdown? It's base efficiency of 73%. I guess it's because they're having to travel through all of the snow, and you can see it all deforms as the people walk over there. We currently have some people unemployed, so I might as well tell them to go and gather coal there. We'll just max that out. And who else have we got left? Well, actually what we do need is, well, we do need tents for people to stay, but realistically we probably want to get, oh, workshop would be nice as well. Workshop is researching technologies, which is very, very important as well. We generally have a couple of those. I'll probably build them around here. So anyway, this is going to get made, and once this is made, I'll assign as many people to it as I can, and then they're going to gather the wood crates, and the steel wreckage as well. Obviously, we do need to gather more coal. That's wood there. So coal's going there, coal there, and the wood there. Oh, that's fine. That's okay for now. As I said, these resources will deplete, and rather rapidly as well, so we'll have to scout out. Anyway, current coal is on 83, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the generator. Actually, no, it says fight the cold, so it says stockpile coal. You have to stockpile it to 200, and then activate the generator to fight the cold. But I'm going to activate the generator because that does that one there, and as you can see, woomph, it just fires up, and yeah, it sounds quite evil, although it is steampunk, so they generally sound sort of, well, I don't know. They've got an edge to them anyway. Anyway, so that's going. It just, yeah, it reminds me of a blast furnace, to be honest with you, and I think that's where the design comes from, I guess. Anyway, so if we go to temperature, we can see that it is now very, very toasty. In fact, that is, well, you wouldn't want to touch it, would you? I mean, when it was not on, it was like, you know, you got your tongue stuck to it. Now you'll probably just burn it quite clean off. Either way, not ideal. Let's just max that out for our workers there. Actually, that's only got 5 workers assigned, so I'm going to reduce the workers here by 5 and increase that by 5. And the reason you want them in the buildings is because it's got building insulation, so people will get ill. Very low risk of getting ill. Whereas when they're walking along here, you can see they're carrying resources. They do have a higher chance of getting ill, so it's important that we sort that out. Let's go over to construction, and do I want another construction area? I could put it around there, maybe not, but what I'll do first is get some tents around the place, because quite frankly, people sleeping outside is not ideal. Let's just build all of those there. We are gathering some wood, so getting these built shouldn't take too long to do. Obviously, these ones here are gathering wood and also steel. And maybe putting one around here would be an idea as well, a gathering post. Yeah, maybe. So food, generator comes with reducing warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. Basically, we need to get food. Okay, that's totally understandable. So let's go over to food. So you've got a hunter's hut and a cookhouse. So the hunter's hut will just gather food, whereas the cookhouse will cook said food. You can eat raw food if you do so desire. However, it is not ideal, as you may be aware, if you've eaten raw food, especially if it's well, sushi from a petrol station. So, we'll go for... Where else do we need to go for? Probably food, or do you want to go for research first? Research is probably the way to go for the time being, because we do have enough food. Because you have to think long term, really. So I think we'll go for tech. So we'll go for tech, and then a workshop. I'm going to put a workshop in here, and then we can start researcher rating. I also think that maybe it would be a good idea to have a have a gathering post over this side. It is now... Is it finished? No, yeah, it's the work time's ended. There is a time for working and such. So currently it's free time. So you work from 8 till 6, I believe, and then it changes as you go along. But we can alter that if we want to go for emergency shift, which allows you to work for 24 hours. And I don't know if we want that yet. We certainly do want some... a fighting arena is, you might think is not very good, but actually it is, because it's new building fighting arena. Evening bouts will reduce discontent, but you have to build a fighting arena. Yeah, we'll go for emergency shift actually, because it means that if we need to get people working more, then we can do that. Current homelessness, we've got 60 people there, but we are building some other stuff as well, 2 others there, so that hopefully will get built sooner rather than later. Let's just max speed that out, and let's see that go down. So yeah, it's now down to 40, so that's quite good. We will assign some engineers, so we've got engineers working over there. That is good, and that means when it's now back to day, look at that, it's all, see that, it's all frosting up. Like snow goes on the top of it and such. Quite nice detail. Yeah, so what will happen is when we get the workday, we'll get another button to do some research. But I'm just going to max speed this out here. One thing you can do is overcharge the generator, and if you do that, then it will provide a bit more heat, you see. And we now have one person sick, not gravely though, so they're probably just a bit cold, and we need to look after them. But at the moment, well, we just can't do that. There's nothing we can do. We need somewhere for them to go. So that's been assigned. We need to... Well, once it hits 8 o'clock, it will... Aha, we'll get now technology. Okay, so... And apparently something to do with Secret World Legends. Very good. So we will go for... heaters is always a good one. So allows us to use heaters to heat workplaces during working hours. Each heater raises the workplace temperature by 1 level and consumes 1 coal per hour when running. We could go for Hunter's Gear. We got Faster Gathering. Faster Gathering is always useful. Let's go for Faster Gathering first. There we go. And we will probably put... Well, we need wood first, so I'm just going to speed up while we get the wood. So they'll go into there. There's a gathering post, so let's see the temperature. Temperature's not too bad in there. It's livable. That's fine. I'll tell you what I'll do. We've got a bit of a choice here. So, people from our convoy, family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. Okay, we'll do what we can. So this is where you can get certain choices and such. At the moment, we don't have... There wasn't a choice there, but sometimes there will. You'll get one there. We can now enact a new law, and I think that law will be probably... Well, you've got 2 options for the sort of health tree. So you've got radical treatment, which is anyone seriously ill, you can amputate things. So if you're gravely ill, then, you know, you're like severe frostbite or something, then chop chop. You've also got sustain life, which is the gravely ill will be kept alive but untreated in medical posts. The hope will rise slightly. Discontent will rise slightly. Gravely ill will not be treated. I'll leave that for now. I think we can go for child shelters. Child labour is actually... Safe child labour is good. Well, both child labour and the safe job things is useful. I wouldn't call it good, because in general, would you call child labour good? No, I don't think you would. You certainly wouldn't. But in this scenario, you know, having them work in safe places in the game, not too bad. I never actually went up for the child labour all jobs. It just doesn't sit right with me. But I think that's the whole point in the game, to make you think about these things. You know, needs, must, and all that. But I think we're going to go with child shelters, which is provide children with a safe space for them to basically not get injured or cause some problems. And also hope goes up as well, so it's good that we get that one. So what I'm going to do is build, and I think we want to build some a hunter's hut and a cookhouse. We'll probably have 2 hunter's huts actually. We're going to have one there and probably one there eventually, and then we will, yeah, probably go ahead and we'll probably have 1 cookhouse and 1 and 2 shelters, and then that, we get some good food rations there. Anyway, so that's going to get built. That's gathering okay there. We probably want to get eventually another gathering post up probably here. So we'll probably go, let's see, about there. See, this is the same size as that, is it? Yes, it is. So there, and then we'll move it out. It does actually matter where you place it, but you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do instead is build a... Do I want to build a path outwards like that? Like a street? I could build a street to there. And then I know if I place it... about there. Not there. There. That's within the lines. It says it's not currently connected. Well, it isn't actually, is it? So, fair enough. Right, so, max that out. So, faster gathering is now being researched. That's good. Food, health, and shelter. Hunter's gear, and you know what? No, we're going to go for heaters. So we can heat the buildings. Because if you can go many ways with the game. That's the thing that... I've played the game before where I didn't heat these buildings, and it works, but I had to put a lot of my efforts into then caring for the sick. Whereas if you go for preventative measures first, then it costs more resources, but also it's not a big drain later on. So if you're proactive about it, then it can all basically it can work out. Or not, maybe you spend too many resources. Like I said, I haven't actually won the game yet, so hey ho. Let's just max it out while things get built. So there we go, there's a hunter's hut. I'm going to probably reduce the amount of people gathering coal over there because we do have a fair decent stock there, and max out the amount of people. Oh, we're not maxing out the amount of people. I thought we had more than enough people that working there, but apparently not. Let's now max it out. So we've got loads of people working in there. We've also got some engineers. Yes, we've got engineers. What's this here? No roof over our heads. So, Captain, people are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They're falling ill from sleeping outside in the terrible cold. So you can say, I provide some shelter or provide shelter for everybody. And if you say, I won't address this right now, then discontent will rise slightly. Whereas if we do one of these, it means that you've made a promise and you'll get a bonus if you complete it, and a negative discontent basically if you don't. I'm going to provide shelter for everybody because I do have a decent amount of wood, and we should be able to build some tents. Actually, what was that there? That is a child shelter. We'll probably build one of those later. 2, 3. We need one more for all of our people, and then we'll build a child shelter. What's this here? This is the wisdom of the crowd. Captain, we're facing demands. Remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. Yes, understood. So, we need to build a cookhouse for preparing meals, because currently we ain't got one, but we have got a hunter's hut. So they're going to go out and gather 15 food a day. Nobody's working. What I'm going to do is emergency shift in here to gather more resources. As you can see, discontent has gone up, and obviously that's bad, but as soon as I get this other tent up, it should then be lowered. So let's just see if that actually happens. Discontent slowly going up. Promise fulfilled. Hope now rises. There you go. Alright, we also need to build a child shelter, which we will build probably there. Alright. So everybody now has a place to sleep. 3 people are sick, so we do need to sort that out. We also haven't got people assigned here. I'm going to assign some engineers there. Now, normally you would assign engineers to other tasks. I'm actually going to minimize that to nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Max that out. Normally you would assign them to specialist jobs, but there's no reason why you can't just say, look, just work. It's fine. So there we go. We've now got... we can introduce a new law. What law can we introduce? More apprentices or engineer apprentices? Or medic apprentices? Children from child shelters can help in medical facilities raising their efficiency. Or engineers. Children from child shelters will help at workshops speeding up research. Both would be good, quite frankly, but I don't know if we can. I'm going to go for the fighting arena, because that reduces a discontent somewhat. We will build a cookhouse. And we'll also expand the road to there. It does cost... the street, sorry. It does cost wood to do that. So, children cared for. Hope rises, because we've got the child shelter. There you go. And you can click on them as well, and you can get a little list of what they're doing and where they are and such. That's currently on 80% efficiency. Why? Oh, it's because the person hasn't got there yet. That's fine. Okay. So still people walking over here, trudging into the snow. Probably not worth expanding out to build another gathering post over there. I'm not too sure anyway. Is that one okay? That's livable temperature. That's fine. That's livable. So we've currently got some research going. In fact, you can see it all researching their cogs and wheels and other such things going around. That is good. We've got them working over here. Obviously, we have extended the working hours for 24 hours there, so it's not ideal. But I think it was important to get the resources to get this sorted sooner rather than later. So cookhouse is getting built. We could build a fighting arena now, but I think perhaps another workshop would be in order. You don't have an adjacency bonus as far as I'm aware, so I'll probably just put it over there. Also probably go for another... Oh, actually what we should have really done is build a medical post. Can I cancel that? Cancel that. Yes, that's important. Build a medical post sooner rather than later, because then we can look after some of the people who are currently sick. They're not gravely sick, but that's, you know... Oh, hang on. Let's pause that a second. They're not gravely sick, but that's just because of time. So we've got someone hungry and starving. Where are they? That tent there for some reason? Oh, and they're over there. It's just because of the... Yeah, they'll come back and they'll eat. That's fine. There is food. So steel wreckage has been depleted. So the steel wreckage here is now gone. So the only other steel that I can see is there. And I think that is it. No, there's some there. There's some actually there. Right, it's fine. So if we wanted to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably... It's too cold over there, isn't it? Yeah. Because I could probably get rid of that once this is done and then move it over to that side. I'm not sure. We'll see. So heaters is now being researched. Hunter's gear is pretty good because it gives us more food. There's also a beacon, which allows us to send out expeditions. I think we're going to go for Hunter's gear first. Get all of the statistical upgrades. So that's fine. That's there done. That's getting built. Right. Okay, so I think that is going all right. Not too bad for now, actually. Should we make sure heaters are on here? That's currently on. Our heater's working. Yeah, heater is off. Heater is now on. Heat is now on. There we go. So these are now heated, so it's comfortable, so prevents getting ill. Yeah, so that's actually quite useful. These ones, these are already comfortable because of the adjacency and such, so that is fine. So it's important that we turn those on, but those during working hours are going to burn a lot more coal, so yeah, we have to be aware of that one. But I think a preemptive approach is probably the way to go. Either way, we're going to leave it for that episode. Hopefully, it's a nice little start, but what I have found with the game is it can go horribly wrong at a moment's notice, drop of a hat, etc. So, yeah, let's see how this one goes. As always, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.